Metairie looks like the perfect middle ground between New Orleans and the suburbs.
You want the convenience of New Orleans without the daily hassle? But Metairie comes with trade-offs. Traffic at the wrong time can stall you. Flood risk varies block to block, and many homes are older. The thing is, if you understand the layout, the commute patterns, and the housing stock, Metairie can be the most predictable move you can make here. In this guide, I'll give you the real pros and cons, show you the commute that surprises most movers, and help you decide where to focus your search. Stick around because by the end, you'll know exactly how Metairie fits your life. Location, vibe, and how Metairie fits together. Let's break this down. Metairie sits between Lake Pontchartrain to the north and I-10 to the south. Two spines define your daily life. Veterans Boulevard running east-west and the Causeway running north-south up to the Causeway Bridge. If you picture the area like a grid, Veterans is your main boulevard for errands, and I-10 is your fast lane for getting across the region. Old Metairie anchors the southeast side near Metairie Road. It's where you find boutique shops, small cafes, and a traditional street grid with mature trees. Homes here have character, deeper lots, and a tight community feel. North of Veterans, the vibe gets quieter as you approach the lake. Streets are calmer, cul-de-sacs are common, and you're a short hop to the Levee Trail and Bucktown's waterfront. That mix, heritage on one side, lakeward, calm on the other side, covers most lifestyle needs. Lafreniere Park sits near the center as the green acre. You've got open fields, walking loops, ponds, and playgrounds. It's a weekly reset spot. On the lakeside, Bucktown and the Levee Trail give you daily recreation, bike, jog, sunset walks, without a long drive. Metairie is unincorporated inside Jefferson Parish. That means parish-level services, different millage rates that the city and the distinct identity. There's no single downtown. The center is more practical. Veterans, the lakeside area, and clustered shopping corridors. The thing most people miss is how short hops here feel faster than the miles suggest. You bounce from home to school to groceries in tight loops along familiar arteries. The car is king, but it's efficient. Daily rhythm is simple. Your errands and dining revolve around Veterans and the major cross streets, Severn, Causeway, and Bonneville. You'll plan your life around the nearest on-ramp or cut-through, not around street parking or long walking stretches. If you prefer certainty and quick access over nightlife, that trade makes sense. But what about the money and the commute? Those two factors decide where you should live inside Metairie. Here's the truth about Metairie commutes. Pick the right artery early, and you'll save time every week. Let's cover the four most common routes: CBD, Uptown, the airport, and the Northshore via the Causeway. For the CBD, your best move is usually to hop onto I-10 quickly rather than riding Veterans too long. Veterans and the Causeway interchange can bottleneck at peak, and those surface lights chew up time. If you live near an I-10 on-ramp, Bonneville, Causeway, Clearview, you'll get more predictable flow, especially in the morning. Off-peak, the CBD drive tightens up fast. Uptown can tempt you to snake surface streets, but the reliable method is similar. Use I-10 to the appropriate exit, then drop into your Uptown grid. The game changer nobody talks about is ramp timing. Leave 5 minutes earlier and you catch a different wave. That's the difference between a smooth glide and a frustrating slog. The airport is a short jump west on I-10. This is where Metairie shines for early flights and late arrivals. If you have regular travel, choose a pocket with easy access to Clearview or Causeway, so you're on the interstate in minutes. Time certainty matters for flights and shift work, and Metairie delivers that with the right location. For the Northshore, the Causeway is your lifeline. Living near Causeway Boulevard saves meaningful minutes on both sides of the trip. The surprise for a lot of movers is how fast that northbound shot feels once you clear the Veterans Causeway stretch. If the Northshore is a regular part of your week, family, clients, school events, prioritize a home with clean causeway access. Common mistake: starting errands or commutes on Veterans instead of jumping to I-10 early. Quick win: shortlist homes based on proximity to your primary artery. Once your commute is clear, the rest of Metairie's strengths make a lot more sense. The cons, the real trade-offs. Now let's talk about the trade-offs you actually feel day to day. Speaking of traffic, Veterans and Causeway are the choke points. When Lakeside is buzzing or a weekend event stacks the lots, you'll see spillover lights back up and right turn queues clog the outer lanes. The thing is, this isn't citywide gridlock, it's concentrated. If your routine forces you through Veterans Causeway at peak, plan a parallel route or time shift. Otherwise, you'll grind 10 extra minutes for no good reason. Batch errands off-peak when you can, and use the I-10 jump to cut across. Flood risk and insurance require homework. FEMA flood zones vary block to block, and elevation matters. Two similar streets can carry different premium ranges because of base flood elevation and prior claims. You need to pull the FEMA map for the specific lot. Review any elevation certificate and talk to your insurance pro early, before you write the offer if possible. If you remember nothing else here, risk is hyper-local. Don't generalize from the neighborhood label. Verify the parcel level. That's how you avoid surprises and write a budget you can live with. Older homes and infrastructure come with territory. A lot of the housing stock is 1950s and 60s ranches and 1.5-story homes. Many are updated, but systems age on their own timeline. Plumbing, wiring, insulation, windows. Drainage is a reality check too. Streets handle typical rain, but intense pop-up storms can stress older gutters, undersized drains, and shallow grades. You need a thorough inspection. Scope the sewer line if recommended, and budget for upgrades that make daily life better. HVAC efficiency, window replacements, and proper guttering tied to grade. It's not glamorous, but it's what keeps a house comfortable. Limited nightlife and walkability is the next one. Metairie is car first. After 9 p.m., things get quiet outside a few pockets. If you want bars and late night music without driving, this isn't your match. You'll drive to Uptown, the Warehouse District, or Mid-City for that scene. For some folks, that's a feature. Less late noise on weekends and fewer parking headaches. For others, it feels too calm. If your ideal weekend is restaurants within a short stroll and a buzzy street at midnight, you'll be happier closer to the city core. Identity is another factor. Metairie is unincorporated, so there's no classic downtown square that sets the cultural zone. The center of gravity is practical. Veterans, Lakeside, and Metairie Road. And the feel shifts every few blocks. If you crave a single walkable main street with historic theaters, this will feel more suburban and distributed. The upside is flexibility. You can live near parks, schools, or your commute artery without being tied to one main drag. The trade-off is less of that cohesive city identity in one spot. Let me show you exactly how to guardrail your search against these cons. First, inspections. Ask for roof age, electrical panel type, supply drain updates, and window age. If a sewer scope or moisture reading makes sense, do it. Second, elevation and flood. Get the FEMA zone, request any elevation certificate, and have an insurance quote in hand during your inspection window. Third, routing tests. Drive your actual commute at the real time. Once in, once out. If it's borderline now, it won't get easier when school traffic returns or rain stacks lanes. Common mistakes to avoid. Buying for finishes and ignoring 2 extra lights to your on-ramp. Assuming a friend's flood premium applies to your house. Skipping gutter downspout fixes seems fine because the yard seems fine. And starting every trip on Veterans out of habit. The shortcut nobody teaches is to reverse engineer your address from your top 2 arteries. If airport runs and Northshore trips are routine, you need Clearview or Causeway access baked in. If CBD and Uptown rule your week, prioritize Bonneville, Causeway, or Severn ramps to I-10. Here's the practical quick win. Target X flood zones when you can. And if a house you love sits outside that, budget for mitigation. Proper grading, gutters that move water away, and backflow protection where appropriate. Pair that with a commute first, search radius, and a clear upgrade plan for aging systems. Once you set those guardrails, the downsides become manageable, friction instead of recurring problems. That's how you get Metairie's certainty without the hidden costs showing up 6 months after your purchase. Let's tie this to actual homes and numbers. The market in Metairie offers a wide spread, from renovated mid-century ranches to luxury estates. So the key is matching pocket to priorities. Old Metairie carries the most character. Deeper lots, mature trees, and that Metairie Road charm. Pricing reflects the cachet and lot size. North of Veterans and west toward Lafreniere, you'll see more square footage per dollar and a larger share of mid-century stock that's been opened up or rebuilt. Using current listings data as our guide, the active market spans roughly the mid-600s to multi-million, with a median around the low 900s. The average active home sits around 4 beds, 3 baths, and just over 3,200 square feet. The thing is, price per square foot swings by pocket and condition. So compare apples to apples, renovation level, elevation info, and access to your main artery. Here we are at Taft Park. This first home sits right in the heart of Metairie and has been beautifully brought back to life. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a bonus office, offering about 1,900 square feet and an open modern layout. The floor plan connects the living area to a bright kitchen and flows toward a deep backyard, perfect for gatherings or play. Everything here has been professionally renovated and landscaped, giving it a clean, move-in ready feel from day one. There's even a backyard workshop. ideal for creative projects or extra storage, and plenty of outdoor space to relax and entertain. Here we are at Metairie Lawn Drive. The asking price for this property is $849,000. Just a few minutes away, this home showcases that signature Old Metairie character people love. You'll find 4 bedrooms and 2.5 baths with beautiful 12-foot ceilings and a wood-burning fireplace, and a generous den that feels instantly welcoming. The kitchen features stainless steel appliances, and the home has been updated top to bottom with a new roof, new windows, fresh paint, and new flooring upstairs. It's located in an ex-flood zone, which is a major advantage here, and the backyard patio is built for entertaining. There's also a storage shed and an electric gated driveway, adding both charm and practicality. And here we are on Tocolan Place. This property is asking $2,595,000. And finally, we step into something truly special. Metairie elegance at its finest. This property sits on a secluded tree-lined street in the heart of Old Metairie and offers more than 5,500 square feet of living space. It features 4 bedrooms and 5.5 baths, blending timeless architecture with every modern amenity. Inside, you'll find a grand entryway, formal dining, and open living spaces designed for both comfort and style. The chef's kitchen comes with high-end finishes and professional-grade appliances, while dual laundry rooms, one upstairs and one down, add day-to-day convenience. The covered veranda overlooks a landscaped yard that feels private, peaceful, and perfect for entertaining. What's great about these 3 homes is how they represent the full spectrum of life in Metairie. You can start with beautifully renovated family home under $500,000, step up to a classic Old Metairie residence with historical charm, or move all the way into a luxury estate offering privacy and scale that rivals the best in Greater New Orleans. That's really the story of Metairie right now, a market with variety, strong value, and lifestyle options for every stage of life. And as you've seen, each neighborhood pocket here has its own rhythm, from quiet residential streets to lively cafe corners, all within minutes of downtown New Orleans. Here's how to decide where to focus. If you prioritize charm, larger lots, and proximity to Metairie Road, aim for Old Metairie and be ready for pricing power. If you want newer builds or more space per dollar, look lakeward or west toward La Fernier. If the North Shore is frequent, living near Causeway saves daily minutes. If the CBD or airport rule your week, proximity to Bonneville, Causeway, or Clearview ramps pays off. Anchor your search to your arteries, confirm the FEMA zone and any elevation certificate, and benchmark price per square foot against renovation level, not just zip code. And now for the pros. Why people choose Metairie despite those real challenges. Metairie has held steady for decades because it solves practical problems. If you can live with the trade-offs and set the right guardrails, you get predictability, time savings, and a simpler daily rhythm. Here's why people stay. Let's talk about why people pick Metairie and stay for years. The first reason is location and accessibility. You sit between the city core and the airport, with the causeway pointing north. If your life spans different parts of the region, work in the CBD, kids' activities on the lakefront, a client lunch in Old Metairie, a late flight out of Moyzane, Metairie lets you thread those together without guessing. The thing is, certainty beats speed. You'll pick a route and repeat it. That reliability lowers stress. Now, daily convenience. Metairie runs on efficiency. Lakeside and the big box corridors give you almost every errand in one loop. Groceries aren't a scavenger hunt here. You've got mainstream options plus local staples like Dornax, Trader Joe's, and Whole Foods for specialty goods and prepared foods. You don't need to cross town to find basics or a last-minute birthday cake. If your week is already packed, shaving 10 to 15 minutes off 3 errands adds up. You get that time back. Speaking of daily life, shopping density around veterans is a real advantage. You can pair errands, hardware run, pharmacy pickup, dry cleaning, and be home before dinner. That isn't a walk everywhere neighborhood, but it is a park and batch kind of place. You pull into a cluster, knock out 3 stops, and move on. Keep in mind, this rhythm depends on picking the right pocket near your most used cross street. Parks and outdoor life are better than many expect. Lafreniere Park is a true anchor. Wide paths, open fields, lagoons, shaded areas, and space for casual sports. On the lakeside, the Levee Trail and Bucktown's waterfront give you an easy place to decompress. If you want consistent outdoor time without a drive, Metairie delivers. It's not a destination trail network. It's a dependable daily routine spot. That makes it easy to stick with healthy habits. Stable neighborhoods matter too. Many streets here have long-time residents and a steady hand. You see it in well-kept lawns, holiday decorations, and the pace of turnover. That stability affects everything. Quieter evenings, predictable school pickup traffic, and neighbors who notice when something's off. If you value continuity, you'll feel it on day one. Let's hit real estate strength. Demand is steady because the location solves real problems for commuters, travelers, and families who want services close by. The housing stock is a mix. Classic ranches from the mid-century era, updated homes with open layouts, and new builds in select pockets. That variety gives you options. If you want character and a larger lot, Old Metairie stands out. If you want newer finishes or more square footage at a given price point, look north of Veterans and west towards Lafreniere. The reason this market holds up is simple: utility. People need what Metairie offers: central access, shopping density, schools nearby, and parks that are easy to use. It's a practical value, not just curb appeal. When a house checks those boxes and sits near a clean route to I-10 or Causeway, it gets attention. Here's a micro story that sums up the everyday win. A normal weekday. You drop a kid at practice near Lafreniere. Swing to a grocery run at Dornax. Grab a quick takeout and still make it to an evening flight pickup without racing the clock. The difference isn't top speed, it's the short, repeatable loops. Once you lock your pattern, you stop thinking about logistics. That's mental space back in your day. Now, a mistake to avoid. Many movers underestimate how close their daily essentials cluster around Veterans and a couple of cross streets. They'll pick a house for the interior finishes and live just a few turns too far from their main artery. 2 extra lights each way doesn't sound like much until it's every morning, every evening, and Saturday errands. Shortlist homes based on friction, not just features. Less friction means you use the city more and stress less. When you add it up, location certainty, errand efficiency, reliable parks, stable neighborhoods, and a strong housing mix, Metairie appeals to anyone who values predictability over novelty. If that's you, this is where life runs on time. Your quick routine lives in a 10 to 15 minute loop. For charm and coffee runs, Old Metairie streets near Metairie Road deliver cafes and small shops. Drago's is the seafood anchor many people lean on for a reliable meal. Dornack's is the local staple for groceries, prepared foods, and last-minute party trays. Lafreniere Park is your weekly reset, and the Levee Trail gives you easy sunsets and bike time. School anchors include Metairie Academy with a mix of private options nearby. The thing is, batch errands around veterans and a key cross street, and your week starts to feel lighter. Here's the takeaway. Metairie trades constant nightlife for certainty. Location, predictable commutes, tight errand loops, parks you'll usually use, and stable neighborhoods. If that matches your priorities, it's a strong fit. Test your commute at real times, lock onto a primary artery, and shortlist pockets that align with your route and flood profile. If you want the full neighborhood breakdowns, subscribe for deep dives. And if you're serious about moving, reach out for a custom Metairie plan with a flood and commute check tailored to your timeline.